I know, it's almost perfect timing. Look at that. Hey, what's up, guys? Look at that. Just playing around with my camera. Nice budget build. Yeah, it's going to be a great build. Welcome back to the Build Show. I am your host over here at the Empower Gaming Studio. My name is Ben Estrino. I build PCs, and I'm going to be building a PC for Mr. Holden. Super excited to do this one, too. Tat! Holy cow, it's alive! It's alive! It's alive! I think that's what you meant, right? It's alive! Is the microphone actually working this time? Hey, what's up? Yo, Geesh, how's it going? Welcome to the Build Show. Anra, welcome to the Build Show. What's up? If you guys haven't heard the news, I'm going to announce it here before we start the stream. But because of all of the support here from all of you fine folks watching me build PC after PC after PC, YouTube has now granted us partnership. So we are now a YouTube partner. Yay! I don't actually know what that means. I'm just kidding. So what that means is it unlocks Super Chat, it unlocks members, it unlocks, I think, store on the YouTube. So you can have your store linked to YouTube. Even though I had it linked on the YouTube anyway. But anyway, all these cool new features are unlocked on YouTube, so that's pretty cool. Cool! Damn, so sad. I just got ads in the middle of the announcement. Must be because you're not on YouTube, or you're not subbed. No, so the announcement was we are YouTube partner. We made YouTube partner, so we met the criteria to become YouTube partner. We're actually past it, but they took forever to like look at it and approve it and all that fun stuff. So they approved it. We're now officially YouTube partner. Cool. Some giant idiot. Welcome back to the Build Show. So it was all because of you guys. So we didn't just do it. I didn't do all of it. I mean, yeah, I build all the PCs and sit here and talk in front of a camera, rambling on about weird stuff as I'm building PCs, but it's all because of you guys. You guys supported it. So what I would like to do, and continue doing, is any of the income coming from the build shows, the streams, specifically YouTube or Twitch, I'd still would like to do the $1 PC giveaway. So a $1 PC giveaway, the whole idea is basically any money that we're making from the stream goes towards a pot, and that pot eventually grows to a size where we can fund a PC, and then we give it away to our subscribers for $1. We have to sell it to you for $1 because if I give it away, it's more of a gambling scenario, and I don't want to get into any trouble, so I'm going to choose the purchaser for $1. And then they will get to buy the PC for $1, have the option to. Usually I just say you paid me cash and I put the dollar, quote unquote, on the books, and here we go, we're throwing evidence out there for me. Anyway, let's go. I still have a little plaque y'all framed on my desk. Oh, nice. Yeah, it's our battle tested frame. So each PC we build, if anybody doesn't know that, we battle test every PC, and it comes with a frame, a framed thingamabopper. Actually, I might have one over here if you want to see it. I know this one isn't framed yet, but this gets signed by me. You get your build number on it now, and it comes in a frame, so you have one. So for example, this build's going to receive that after we battle test and confirm everything's good. That is us certifying the build. We also sometimes write the name or sign the back of the PC based on if you want us to sign it or me to sign it. I'll sign my build that I built. Aim forth for the win. Yes, Ant-Man. Yes. But thank you guys for dealing with me this last week. It has been extremely busy, both work side, Empower side, and baby side. The baby has been very needy this last week, and mom's needed a lot of help, and I've been helping a lot, and it's been exhausting. So I appreciate everybody who's been very patient with getting the streams. I don't like to stream past like 10 p.m. So if it gets too late, I don't want to start up the stream and start bugging people with notifications super late, because most of the viewers, or at least I think most of the viewers, are Eastern time locally around me. At least that's what I think. Anyway, so I just don't want to like bombard people super late with notifications. Ben's going live. We'll be doing that in December. A lot of it. But if I can avoid it, I don't want to do it. Plus, the build that I was doing here is for a kiddo, and I know he has probably school. This is probably super late too. Hold up, didn't you say 2 builds tonight? We're going to start with Holden's build, and depending on my status, yes, we'll do a second build. When I say my status, I currently have a hernia, which I have discovered this last week as well. And standing makes the hernia hurt. So I might have to take like a 5-minute break after this build to recoup myself. But then, yes, we'll definitely do a second build. The second build is just going to be an inventory build, though. I just remembered I owe you a bottle of homebrew. Helping me out with the troubleshooting? That's okay. Don't worry about it. Whatever. Homebrew is good for me. I like trying out people's brews. My buddy tried brewing beer, and it was some super strong stuff. It was like, wow. Like moonshine level. It was a one and done beer. But, yeah. Holden, if you're in here, I don't know if you're watching or not yet. I did say I was going to start after 6:30, so we're a little bit later. But that's because we had a whole bunch of estimates piled on this week that we had to write. Estimates take about 30 to 40 minutes for me to write up, unless it's something that I have recently written up, because prices on parts always change, and people are asking for customizations. So, and not everybody's budget's the same. So I spend a lot of time building estimates, and when I get like 15, 20 of them all at the same time, I have to spend that much time, 30 to 40 minutes on each of them, to build them out. That is how much time is invested just making quotes. By the way, if anybody's in the Discord, and if you're not in the Discord, ask for the link, and we'll drop the link. There is a poll out there asking how many estimates do you think Ben has written since he started, quote-unquote, officially as Empower Gaming Computers. Take a wild guess at it. Let me know. Oh, I thought... I went through all that. Still healing. They put a mesh in it. Oh, yeah. That's probably what they're going to do. I'm actually getting looked at tomorrow, Wednesday. So they'll be able to tell me, I think, what is going to happen with that. This isn't my first hernia either. I had a chest hernia a few years back. It wasn't actually that long ago. It was like 3 or 4 years. Apparently I was born with it. But I woke up one day with my spleen up in my lungs. It was kind of weird. Weird pain. Like the weirdest pain you've ever felt. It's unexplainable. But and it happened in the middle of the night while I was laying down. So I woke up and I was in this weird pain. Went and drank some water. Kind of like, what is going on? So I finally went back upstairs and kicked Mrs. Empower. I'm like, I'm going to drive myself to the hospital. Something's not right. Because we had kids and a small puppy at the time. And there was just no way we were going to wake everybody up and pile everybody in the car and drive to the hospital. So I drove myself to the hospital, got there, and I was like, yeah, something's not right. And it took them like 2.5 hours to finally do a CAT scan, also to determine that I'm not like a druggie trying to get free meds, because I was asking for painkillers, and they were just giving me Motrin. I'm like, I'm already taking Motrin. It's not doing anything. But finally, they're like, they took a CAT scan of my stomach area, and they were like, yeah, there's like 3 things missing, 3 organs missing. And I'm like, what organs are missing? They were like, well, they're not here where they're supposed to be. Where are they? Anyway, they identified that they're up in my chest, and then they also identified that I have a hernia. And it's, for those of you who don't know, a hernia is a hole in the muscle, and you have a muscle that separates your chest from your stomach, your guts. so to speak. And if you have a hole there, when you breathe in and out, your lungs create suction, and it pulled all of a bunch of organs up into my chest through that hole, and then they got stuck. And then because of the pain, I was very tense. I know this has nothing to do with PCs, but weird things have happened to me in the past with hernias. So anyway, that got solved, and I feel much better. But now I have a new hernia, but that one's down in the groin. That one hurts, especially if I stand too long. Sticking out, yeah, the belly button. Mine doesn't do that, at least by the belly button. Mine's a little lower, unfortunately. So it sucks getting old. That's the moral of the story. Anyway, let's go ahead and start with the build, because I'm sure that's what all of us are here for, not to talk about my hernia. Hey, some giant idiot. Health first, stay strong. Thank you. I try to stay strong. I try to stay young. Hey, Mitch, what's up, man? Welcome back to the Build Show, sir. Gaming with Ant-Man 2000. What? Holden is watching. Oh, awesome. Welcome, Holden. And welcome, Adam, to the Build Show. What's the 2000? Oh, for the build, for the estimate. Gaming, you're actually very close, very close. I think that's actually the right one. I gotta go back into Discord and look. Now that I told everybody. Wait till you get my age. I don't think I want to. Okay, is there a pause button, or is there a way to go backwards, reverse time? I don't know. Every birthday I have, I usually just tell everybody I'm 21 again. So, Tat Tuna, funny. It's been 84 years. You know, Tat, I just caught that chat from the top there. So what case are we working with? Well, let's go through the build, and we'll get to the case. We'll start with the CPU, which is the Ryzen 5 5600. It's got a 6-core, 12-thread, 4.4 gigahertz maximum boost, and it is not the X, it is just 5600, just for awareness. This is an AIM-4 build, so we're going to be building with an AIM-4 B550 Aurorus Elite AX V2 ATX motherboard by Gigabyte. Those of you that can't see it. Cooler is a Thermalright Assassin X120 SE, right here. This guy is one of my favorites for our 6-core CPUs. And it's in black with the addressable addressable RGB 120mm PWM fan. And then we also have 16 gigs of DDR4, 3200 megahertz CL16. This is by, of course, Team Group T-Force Vulcan Z. And we also have a MP44L PCIe 4.0, 1 terabyte M.2 NVMe SSD. And we have a 650 watt power supply with some blue sleeved cables extensions, and our famous, of course, Radeon RX 6600 8 gigabytes GDDR6 128-bit graphics card. This is the XFX Swift. I always call it Swift, even though it says on the box and SWFT. I just call it Swift. 210. Outside of that, the case that we're going to be building with is the the Montech XR. I almost said Thermaltake because it's almost the same case. But it's the Montech XR. So with that, we have some additional fans we're going to be adding here. It includes 3 fans already in the case, but we're going to add 3 more to the bottom, and I think 2 to the top was the plan, if I remember correctly. Yeah, originally we weren't even going to add any additional fans, but I threw these in here because I wanted to make sure it looked awesome for Holden. So I added some fans. But, oh yeah, that's another thing. Thermalright now sells these fans in packs of 5 instead of 3. So we've got 5 fans here total in that box. Cool! I hope you have a speedy recovery. Yeah, you too, Tat. Let's see here. Healing from a hernia surgery myself. Drain just got removed, but I'm doing all right. That's good. And yeah, I feel like I knew about your surgery. I feel like we've talked about it a couple times. But yeah, definitely, I'm going to be in the same boat as you, so Any tips, feel free to send them over to me. I just put that card, Power Color version, in a new AM4 build, working well. Awesome. Yeah, this is a great card for anybody who's looking to do a build and not break the bank. That card will get it done. Do you know how to use Xbox controller on PS5 or PS5 controller on a PC from the couch? I do, but I do not play controller, so unfortunately, I'm going to stick with the keyboard and mouse even on my downtime or healing time. Hey, what's up, The Playing Noob? Underrated live. Am I underrated? What's up? Welcome to the Build Show. Well, anyway, guys, without further ado, we should probably get started on this build so we can get through 2 builds tonight to satisfy Tat, who's been patiently waiting. I'm sure a couple of you have been patiently waiting for me to go live over the weekend, and I didn't get to it. So, do you know how to use okay, yeah. Jockstrap helps so much with groin. Thanks. That's good to know. Anything that has compression. Good to know. Good to know. All right, guys, let's get started. So we're going to start with the motherboard, the CPU, the RAM, and the SSD and the cooler. So these 4 parts are going to stay up here. The rest, we're going to slide off the view here. And let's build it. I don't know, I need some sort of slogan now, apparently. Hey, it's Matt. Thank you so much for the computer today. Thank you for walking through everything with me. You're awesome, man. Thanks, man. You're welcome. Happy to do so. Anyway, let's go ahead and get a zoom here. We're going to zoom in on this motherboard so we can see all the fine details. Make sure we stay in frame. Hello. So what we're going to do here, it's a little dark. I actually didn't realize how dark it was there. Hold on. This is a camera problem, not a lighting problem. One momento. Much better. Better? The exposure setting was changed for some reason. I hate restarting my stream PC. Every time I do that, everything's so jacked up. Hey, what's up, Dad Bods and Drop Shots? Good evening to you too, sir. Welcome back to the Build Show. How's the baby and what is she doing? The baby's good. Baby has been just eating and sleeping. That is the majority of the time spent with her so far. Eating and sleeping. Keeping her satisfied. Currently, Mom is doing that right now for me. Alright, so what we're going to do here is we're going to put the CPU into the socket. This is an AM4 socket. So what that means is well, specifically with AM4, the pins are on the CPU here. So on the bottom of the CPU, we have all these massive, really teeny tiny pins. Those are very sensitive, so we don't want to drop it, bend those pins, or damage them in any way. But on Intel or newer AMD boards, the pins are on the motherboard, and they're pinless CPUs. They have little pads instead. But the pins line up, it drops in perfectly, and this little hammer closes and that latches it down and secures the CPU so the CPU does not come out now. You still can pull it out with that latch down, but you don't really want to do that. So try to avoid it. Next, we can go ahead and tackle the RAM. The RAM we're going to be putting in A2 and B2, which are these two slots that I'm opening up. These clips top and bottom. If you open those up, you can install your RAM by pushing it into the slot. And then the clips should close to secure it. And the RAM we're going to be using, again, is the T-Force Vulcan Z by Team Group. This is 16 gigabytes, DDR4, 3200 megahertz with a CAS latency of 16. And what's nice about this RAM is that it's budget friendly. It's not very expensive. Right now you can get this current set of RAM for like $26 on Amazon. No joke. So if you have this kit through one of our builds and you're looking to double the RAM from 16 to 32, you can pick up this kit for $26 on Amazon, and you can actually install this very quickly. There's no additional extra work involved or required other than sliding it in the slot, pushing it down firmly, and letting it lock into place. If you already have a 16 gig kit and you're adding an additional 16, you would just use the additional 2 slots there. Easy peasy. That's specifically with the T-Force Vulcan Z, T-Force Delta Vulcan Z. Don't mix and match RAM. I don't recommend doing that. So let's say you have a different brand of RAM, like G.Skill, and you want to order some T-Force Vulcan Z, DDR4 3200, and you're trying to mix and match. I don't recommend doing that. Try to always keep the same brand, same timing, same speed, same everything. Mixing and matching, what will happen is sometimes you'll have some weird issues when doing that, so I usually recommend to avoid doing that. Alright, so we're going to remove the heat spreader, which is this big chunk metal here that we just removed, and we're going to put the M.2 NVMe SSD, which is a MP44L by Team Group, into that slot. Let's get it opened up and installed. DDR4 is cheap. I'm thinking about upgrading from 64 gigs to 128. There you go. I don't know what you would do with all that RAM. You could almost install a game in that. In fact, you could. For sure. You can almost install Call of Duty in that. That's a joke because Call of Duty is so freaking big. I'm just using my magnetic tip here to line up the screw and get that screwed in. This little M.2 screw will secure the drive so it doesn't go anywhere. And then on the bottom of your heat spreader, we want to remove that little plastic cover and then make sure that the thermal pad is facing down on the SSD. And then we line that up and use the last screw here to finish mounting that heat spreader. What that does is it basically soaks the heat up off the drive and onto the metal, and then it passively cools with the air blowing around in the system to keep the SSD nice and cool. Because these SSDs, the newer and faster they get, the hotter they get as well. What if G.Skill Corsair RAM with some speed and specs? What if I have G.Skill and Corsair with the same? You should be okay. I mean, the reason why I say I don't recommend it is because in some cases it doesn't work and in some cases it does. So rather than me sitting here trying to point out every kit of RAM that works well with each other, I just tell people, buy the same brand. buy the same speed, buy the same. So yes, in some cases it will work, but I just tell people to buy the same. Stick with the same, you can't go wrong. But yes, in some cases it will work. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move on to mounting the CPU cooler, which is this Thermalright Assassin X120 SE tower air cooler. It's got 4 heat pipes that you can see there on the top, 4 on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are all single pipes that run down to the bottom here. A little copper here that touches the top of the CPU, and that's what draws the heat off the CPU. And it runs up these pipes. These pipes actually have gas in them that pull the heat up to these fins, and the fan's going to be pushing air across these fins, and it'll cool your CPU. So that is how this works. There's a little bit of science behind it. And the gas inside the pipes, I can't remember the exact name for it. Maybe somebody can throw that into the chat. But it's really cool how it works. How it draws the heat off the CPU and sends it up the pipe. There is one thing I would say, but it takes a long time for this to happen, is eventually the gas will wear out in the pipes, and it will eventually become less and less efficient over time. But it will take a long time to get there. So what we're going to do to mount this cooler is we have to remove the stock brackets that come with the motherboard. We're going to use the back plate that comes with the motherboard, but we're going to add the cooler as its own mounting brackets. So we have to add those or get those installed here before we can install the cooler on top of the CPU. Really quick, got these little studs that go over the back plate. Feels like they don't want to fit right, which is fine. And then we have these, let me throw that. Then we have these 2 brackets here that go, trying to see, go like this. They get installed side to side for AIM-4. Intel would be different. It would be a different setup. But these brackets, that's what the cooler will screw down onto. Secure to. I don't know what the right term is there. Plutonium. Yes, that sounds right. No. I run multiple monitors and tabs and like to mod games. That's why I like a lot of RAM. Yeah, you're going to need a lot for that. I have 32, and 32 is not enough. So, when I do finally do Ben's upgrade build, I'm definitely going to go bigger than 32. Maybe we go all the way and we go to 128. Or we go to an 870 motherboard and get 256. Or whatever the limit is there. I think it's 198 actually. The 870s. Alright, so now our brackets are installed. So we can put our cooler on. But first, we have to add some pasties. Some thermal paste. So the thermal paste, this is what conducts the heat off of the... or not conducts, but helps draw the heat off of the CPU and onto the copper or the metal heatsink. So the better the thermal paste, the more effective it is. And that's why everybody's super gung-ho about having the best thermal paste on the planet. Because that little change right there could do a lot. Yeah, I probably have too much on there, but it's fine. There is no actually... There is no such thing as too much. But There is such a thing as not enough. Dang it. These are spring-loaded, 2 screws on the side, which mount to those brackets that we installed earlier. And then we go back and forth to evenly distribute the pressure, because this is applying pressure on the CPU downwards, pushing those pins that we talked about earlier into the socket. We want to do it in a even, or as much as possibly even as possible. As much even as possible even. We're trying to do it as evenly as possible. Those are the right words. Can you tell I'm lacking sleep yet? Plantonium is a joke. It's what powers the DeLorean. Oh yeah, then maybe it's that. I don't know the name of it anymore. I used to know it, and it's not here. It sounded right. I tried. So plantonium is not it, guys. So if somebody else knows what it is not going to try to send me a funny joke because I don't know what it is off the top of my head. One Google search would answer that question. What gas is in the heat pipe? I need an Alexa in here, actually. That should tell us. We'll call her Empower AI, and then we'll ask the Empower AI. Alright, so what I did there was I added the clips to the fan here, and then the clips just grip onto the side of the heatsink here, and that is how the fan mounts to the cooler. There we go. We got one awesome cooler installed. Now we're going to rotate this around, and I'm actually going to plug in our PWM fan header here to our CPU header, which is going to be this top gray one here. And then this addressable RGB connection is going to rotate or run to the top of the case to the back, so we can sneak that through. Yeah? Yeah. And I'm going to drop a zip tie on that real quick, just make it look a little bit more clean on the inside of the case. And so I don't have to deal with it later while it's in the case. There we go. Then we got our little snippies right here to snip these tails. Get nice and clean. And we can zoom out. Where are we on the map? Slightly angled. Oh well. Is what it is. Alright. So next, we can start getting the case out. We'll drop this in there. Gently, of course. Oh. Oh yeah, let's see what case we picked out. It is... Drum roll. We already talked about it earlier, but it's the Montech XR. The XR by Montech. A sleek, modern design with side and bottom intake, and both front and side panel glass. Ow. I unfortunately have to peel those because of the tape that keeps me from pulling the side panel off. I really can't pull the glass off without peeling those because of the tape that comes with them installed or shipped. Shipped with tape that's installed. What's up, Colt? Colton's Club. Very nice work as always, buddy. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome to the build show, sir. All right, let's see what else we got here. Ammonia. You're welcome. It's ammonia? I thought it was something else. I thought it was a different... Pneumonia. Ammonia. Ammonia. I thought it was a different gas. Contact for the win. Always the best choices. Too small for my fat hands. Small. Me too. All right, so let's get this side panel and rear panel off. We might remove the front panel too. I don't know. We are going to remove this. I'm already feeling the burn. Definitely getting worse. Last stream I could almost get through it without dying. Alright, so we're going to remove this front panel too, which I think is just popped out. Yep. And pop out and up. Just so I can get some fingerprints on it, since we peeled the plastic. And now, we'll get our motherboard in there. Oh wait, let's peel the peel on the motherboard before we do that. Duh. There's a little peel here. Peel. So F's in the chat for that peel. That was a fail. I'm sure there's none on the audio or audio chip. There we go. It all lined up nicely. Now we can get our hardware out and start mounting this board to the case. You think it's bad to leave a PC on for 24 hours? No, I think the only bad thing about that is if you are, especially if you're paying for the electricity, which most people are, right? If you leave your PC on for quite a long time, it'll rack up the electric bill over time. So generally, good thing to do is just shut it down or put it to sleep. Even while it's asleep, though, it will draw power. So nice. Open that bad boy up and they just go flying everywhere. But the hardware, I guess the only thing that's really wearing out is your lifetime on your fans. So each fan has a bearing and each bearing has a limited lifetime on it, right? Meaning it can only spin so many times before it wears out, just like any other mechanical thing in the world. So it's wear and tear on your fans, and eventually those do wear out. So keeping it on 24/7, eventually you'll see the signs of the wear and tear, and your electric bill will be higher. Depends on how ventilated the room is. It should be fine regardless. Modern PCs throttle themselves down. Yeah, it saves power when it's not in use. It will throttle itself down. But still, there's still going to be wear and tear on your fans, and there's still going to be wear and tear on your electric bill. You will notice a little bit of a difference. Can't get rated and lose my pixels, Rust. Like, I hear you. I hear you. It could be a pneumonia, 213-37-3K alcohol, methanol, or ethanol, or water. Yeah, I don't think it's water. Some people say it's water vapor, and some people say it's a gas, a mixture. But I've never really gotten a straight answer, so I guess it varies. So it'd be something, I guess, to learn more about. But I know it's some sort of gas or liquid in the tube, and eventually those evaporate or disappear. Alrighty, have a good night. Yeah, you too, Dad Buds. Gotta go decide if I want to do some late night Silent Hill streaming. Yeah, get doing that, man. Hey, I'm glad you got that figured out, right? You got that camera problem figured out, right, Dad Buds? Or the OBS problem? It's not doing it anymore after we figured out the hub was not doing, or was causing possibly the problem? Y'all too slow, LOL. Hey. I am slow, naturally. I can't help myself. My mom said I was built that way. This is from Google, not me. I have no idea. No, it's all good. Yeah, 100% the USB hub. Awesome. I'm glad we got it figured out, because I was sitting there like, man, it worked so good here. I don't remember a problem, you know? Because I definitely wouldn't have told you it was good. Someone told me afterwards the mic was breaking up as well. Okay. Yeah, that would have been a good hint as well to kind of start piecing it together. Is it safe to keep your PC on a carpet? I see some people on Reddit do it. No. Gaming Ant Man. I generally say do not keep your PC on carpet. I'm going to flip this one upside down and show you why. Most modern PCs have ventilation at the bottom of the case. That is your power supply intake. That is where the power supply is literally drawing air. If you're on carpet, the feet, if you see here, your feet only have so much space, and you need that space to provide ventilation to your power supply. If it's on carpet, it will tend to sink into the carpet. And then what you are doing there is actually suffocating your power supply. Or allowing a lot of extra dust into the power supply. So it's not that you can't keep it on the floor, it's the carpet that's the big no-no. Keeping it on the floor, it will tend to pick up more dust, but if you're going to keep it on carpet, I always highly recommend get a piece of wood or something hard to go underneath the PC so that it can sit on the hard surface rather than the carpet, so it ensures that there's good airflow to the power supply at the bottom. So always keep that in mind if you have carpet and you need to put it on the floor. Just put a couple of books down or something. I don't know. Something hard that it can sit on. That's just so it's not sinking into the carpet. That's the main goal. The fact that it's on the carpet doesn't matter. It's the fact that it sinks into the carpet and suffocates the power supply. That is the big problem. That is what I try to tell people not to do. Do not suffocate your power supply. Bad idea. Alright, so now that we've got the board installed, we can tackle the front panel stuff. And then we've got some fans to install. I'm thinking 3 on the top, 2 on the bottom. Should look pretty good. Right? Yeah? 3 on the top, 1 on the bottom. That sounds like a crude joke. And then we've got our front panel connections here. We got 5 fans to work with, 3 on the top, 2 on the bottom. I think it'll look good. USB 3 and C is both at the bottom on this board. Haven't seen... Excuse me. Haven't seen that in a while. That means all our connections are down here at the bottom, which is our HD audio front panel. HD audio. Our front panel power connection, power button and reset button and all that fun stuff. I think goes here. Sorry, needed both hands for that one. Then we've got USB 3.0 header for the top front panel, and USB-C. This connection wants to just argue with me all night long. There we go. We get our cables there, and I've got them in such a way so we can still install the fans. So that's good. All right, next we've got 3 fans to get plugged in. We have addressable RGB down here at the bottom, and an addressable RGB header at the top. We're going to be using all of them. So I'm going to think these 4 fans here, and then these 4 fans here is what we'll end up doing. And we've got a PWM header here, and PWM header up here, or here, one or the other. That'll work. Let's get our fans and start tackling those. Cardboard breaks down and produces more pollutions. Use wood or plastic or something. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, the wood is probably the most classic. That's what I use. I'll just cut like a 2 by or 1 by. Probably just a 1 by is all you need, but something similar to that. 1 by whatever. What is this? 8 inches? 8 to 6 inches, or 8 to 10 inches. 1 by 10. You could probably go to Home Depot and find that exact board that you need in the free file too. If y'all have Home Depot nearby, I don't know. I'm gonna go hit the hay. Nice watching the stream, man. Keep it up. Thank you. Thanks for joining, man. Thanks for hanging out for the time you did. All right. Let's see. Can I put cardboard on it? So yeah, you could definitely put cardboard under it, but like, and sorry, some giant idiot was saying. I think the wood would look more classic. All right, so 2 fans on the bottom. 3 fans on the top. Let's go ahead and just break these twist ties down because we have 1,000,001 of them. Hey, what's up, Martin? Good evening. It's a fire hazard to put a PC directly on carpet. I wouldn't say it's a fire hazard, but you're definitely suffocating your power supply on most modern PCs because the power supply is at the bottom. And you are going to pick up probably a little bit more dust. So when you step on a carpet, the carpet produces dust while you step on it because it pushes air through it. And then your PC will act as your whole room air filter and suck it right up. So it's not, say, a fire hazard, but your power supply will get warm and eventually burn out faster than it should. That is the truth. plugged in. Go. Got one fan. I plugged those in so that we could chain them off, chain off of them, and I don't have to deal with the connections later. It's already dealt with. Excuse me. Nice. There we go. Now we just need some screws. And then we'll need the stubby screwdriver. Mr. Stubby. Where is Mr. Stubby? Aha. Mr. Stubby. If you don't have Mr. Stubby, then you have to install these before you put your motherboard in. Or it becomes a pain in the butt. There we go. 2 fans installed in the bottom. Look at that. We're starting to look like a gaming PC. Would you look at that? All right, next up, top fans. And then we can start doing a little bit more exciting stuff. Now, before we do that, let's undo this cluster. Whew. Cheap strip of thin flooring probably would work good too. Yeah, that's another option. You got any flooring laying around? Would be another good option. Okay, Amazon Black Friday week started. I don't I don't need anything, just want to spend money. Yep. I hear you. They do make little carts that hold PCs and stuff, but I'm not a big fan of them. They don't work very well, at least. They don't work very well on carpet. Stuff like that. Alright, so we do also have blue sleeved cable extensions. That was the color requested. So I'm going to go ahead and get this installed while we're here before I put this fan in. Because then it becomes painful. After the back. Why doesn't it want to go in? No. Not for sure. We had an understanding here. Now if we could just get the cable to cooperate. There we are. The cable decided it was going to cooperate. And now we can finally put this fan in. Properly. Okay, so now we can breeze through the rest of these fans. Whew. All that pre-work. Perfect song to breeze through it. Hey, Boobsy guy. Hydration. We're hydrating with Code Red tonight, because my energy levels are non-existent. Hey, it's James. What's up, man? How's it going? Welcome to the build show. James. Code Red is good like Baja or... Yeah, oh yeah. Both of those are good too. The problem with Baja, for some reason, if I don't buy the Taco Bell Baja, it gives me heartburn. So if I buy a bottled Baja Blast, I get heartburn. I think it's like the sugar or something. But a fountain version of the Baja Blast is perfectly fine. There is something different about the sugar. Shouldn't be drinking pop anyway. It is so bad for me. But I like it. I like it a lot. And it keeps me going. It's either that or I'm doing Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola. Oh no, we ran out of our hype music. There we go. We got all 3 of our fans installed there. Just need to get a zip tie probably on this one, maybe. See?
Pop it out a little bit.
Get that pop on this EPS cable. I want to see it. See it pop. There we go. Nice. Look at that. Look at that little blue in there already. Then we could drop the 24 pin here as well. So these are pre-combed, so I don't have to sit here and cable comb them, which is nice. There we go. What do you guys think? Starting to look like a gaming PC yet? Like a medicine smell almost. Bottle smells kind of, yeah, it does. Yep, I agree with that. New question from Adam Ritchie. Which fans blow out and which fans blow in? That is a very, very good question, and that is very, very important, especially for the thermals of your PC. So, these fans here on the side are unique. These are reversed blades. So the air is actually coming in. So this is what we call intake. So it's pulling air from the back side here, which is vented, which has another panel which is also vented, and it is blowing air in. So that is intake. Your bottom fans here, these are intake as well. And so that draws air from the side, which is all mesh here, as well as the back side of this panel is also supposed to be mesh. But that's all intake. So it's drawing air in, and then the top is exhaust. So all the hot air really technically rises. The fans will assist to blow the hot air out. And then this fan here on your air cooler pushes the cool air coming in the back of the PC, and then this fan in the back is exhaust. So you have in, out, out. So the idea is your airflow comes in on an angle, goes towards the CPU, which is the most important piece, and then out. And then your graphics card is going to be right here. So all this fresh, cool air from the bottom is going to be blown right at your graphics card. So it's really going to help keep the system nice and cool. But that's important to make sure you have enough intake and exhaust. Now, we probably could have gotten away with this system with just the 2 fans on the side and the 1 fan on the rear, and that's actually how I designed this PC. But I added the extra fans for you. Number 1, because they're addressable RGB and they look cool. And number 2, it's going to help with the thermals a lot. So the 5 extra fans that we just added is definitely overkill for the system. But, I mean, for me, they're like 20 bucks. And I'd rather have Mr. Holden be happy and super extra excited with the build. So, why not throw the extra fans in there? Plus they're Thermalright fans, so I can get them for a pretty good deal. They're like 20 bucks for me to get a pack of 5. So, super easy. And, you know, it took, what, 10 or 15 extra minutes on the stream? We're already at an hour and 11 minutes. Holy smokes. I have no idea where time goes. If anybody can find out where time goes, I've been looking for time for, I don't know, years. So if you can tell me where it goes, I'm looking for it. All right, so next we could go ahead and drop the graphics card in here, right? Yeah. And yeah, because we got those 2 connected, so we're good there. We could definitely drop a card in, put the cable in for that, and then we could tackle the power supply and finish up with some cable management on the back side and get all our fans plugged in. Then we could finish this up, power it up, and see what it looks like live on the stream. Sound fun? We're probably another easily 40 minutes before we're completed here, firing it up. So I apologize, Holden. I know it's getting close. I know you have school. At least I assume. Late. I'm sorry. I wanted to start earlier for you. Here's our XFX graphics card, which is a RX 6600 XT. I'm sorry, RX 6600 non-XT. Brain fart. Then we've got all these peels to peel here. I don't know if anybody's into that thing, peeling. Yes. Hold on. And we just line the pins up to the slot with the slot open, push it down, the clip closes, which is closing the slot, and the card latches in there. But we have 2 screws to add. Oh, those were grandma's ones. Her markers. You're not gonna steal her markers. Yep, we'll have to find some markers. I think that's gonna happen right now. Okay. Got 2 screws. This will secure the card to keep it from going anywhere. And then last, we have a wee little power cord. Not wee little, but we have a blue power cord to match the rest of the system. It'll run kind of like that. Or do I want to run it straight down this? Yeah, we'll leave that open. We'll do it that way. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Power supply time. $650 watts of 80 plus gold. Mitch Van, is cable management hard in that case? It's actually not bad. It's not bad at all. It's actually pretty easy. Has all the right routes and all that, so makes it pretty easy. You're awesome, thanks. Yeah, no problem. No problem. Our gaming PC is powerful enough to capture time store in VRAM so you can use it when you need it. Did not know that. Something I'll have to investigate. Learn more about. Like a... Yeah. Got it. Oops. Don't need that. All right, here's our power supply, 650 watts going in. We're going to go in on the side here by pulling some of our cables out of the way. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to get two connections on these two cables, just so we don't have any problems finding them in the future here, the near future. Nope. And then we're going to slide this in. Maybe. Like that. And then there's 4 screws on the back that hold this in. 4 screws. And also, if you didn't notice, I put the power supply fan facing down. Dang it. Is there? There we go. Cable time. Would that be possible? Like 30 minutes of real time equal 16 gigabytes? I wish it was. I don't think it is, though. I do need more RAM in my head, though. That's for sure. Tuna, anyone worried about Trump's new tariffs that might drive up cost PC parts by 40%? I don't believe they're. I don't think it's actually going to do that. We've already seen tariffs go up. But I mean, he's trying to drive manufacturing back to the United States. So what will happen is, yes, the prices might go up now, but later, like for example, Intel is starting to build, or has already invested quite a bit of money in manufacturing in the United States to build their parts, or some of their parts, here in the United States versus in other countries. Just as an example. So the cost is going to go up probably for some time, yeah, but in the end, we'll eventually have manufacturing here in the United States, and the manufacturing will bring the cost down, and it will produce jobs at the same time. So in the long scheme of things, it'll actually be better. So yes, in the short term, it is going to probably drive up cost, but the end of the road is that it's going to bring the cost down for the US, right? And create jobs. So that's the way I look at it. So you got to look at it a little further down the road. At least that's my opinion. Am I right? Don't know. Could be wrong. Could be completely wrong. That's just how I look at it, with a logical mind behind the decision. And in the meantime, those tariffs will help us get rid of some of this debt we have. Maybe. I say maybe. Yep, we're gonna need this here. Come on, fit. This is just a cap. It doesn't want to fit. So let's see if we have another cap somewhere. It fits that one better. But I don't really want that just sitting there loose with the pins out. Electrical tape will do just fine as well. What I'm doing here is plugging the fans in from the side to the fans in on the back. The bottom, sorry. Those are daisy chained, which are already plugged into the motherboard. And then we just got to do the same to the top here. And then we'll zip this up. Do 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 do. All right. Just need a cap for that. Give me an old cap. Man. None of the caps seem to work. Wait a second. Aha. One of these ones. Just make sure we cover that one up. Cap. We don't have pins loosely running around here. Pretty sure that goes up there. Pretty sure. Uh-oh. Oh, right. This is a struggle. Who played Flight Simulator? I actually like Flight Simulator, I just don't have the newest one. I do like it though. I have a super old version. Every now and then I'll jump back on it. Do want to get the new one though, eventually. Or the newest. There we go. Get these all up out of the way. Alright, so now all we gotta do is a little bit of power supply. Some power supply fun. Actually, I'm gonna slap a zip tie around this stuff. On the inside here, just to have some order inside the bottom of this case. And then we got power supply connections, just as an example. Got our big old 24 pin here. This monster goes up here, this cable extension. Then we have this one, which is PCIe. This is what powers the GPU. That goes to this cable extension down here, because that's where we ran it. Down here. And then we have EPS, which goes to the one up at the top. This guy. Which will run to the top. All right. And this bundle of joy we'll deal with here at the top. And then we'll work our way down. This takes nothing but just some patience and time. We're not going to do anything super extravagant here because if we ever have to go back in here, I want to be able to undo these and be able to get to every single wire if I need to. We just work the cables downwards. So you get a satisfaction with what you got. And then I'll work this like so. Actually, let's clip these first. And grab a couple of the big boys. Let's see here. Oh wow, we've had a lot of chat going on here. Intel fired 15,000 people in August? Yes. AMD also dropped 1,000 people last week? Yes. So the reason why Intel fired so many people or laid off so many people is because they were supposed to get an incentive from the United States, the government, for investing the something $1 billion into the manufacturing plants in the U.S. to plan on moving most of their manufacturing to the U.S. And they have not received that incentive. So therefore, the money that they need to continue operating, they had to reduce cost in order to make it work. And also, they've had a pretty significant impact lately with a lot of their issues. So their stock dropped, which they lost money there, and they had to cut cost. So that is ultimately why. And you know, if they didn't cut cost, then they probably would go out of business, bankrupt. So that is the reason why Intel did that. It's not because they wanted to. They definitely didn't want to. Party hard. Yeah, party hard. Z79 board on eBay for $60. They switched to AMD after the Intel voltage issue. I'm eyeballing hard. There you go. As long as it's a good board and it has a trusted seller. CPU chips, etc. Yep. Oh, my fault. And your attention to detail is phenomenal. Thank you, Kenneth. Thank you. We're working on the cable management right now for this one. Always do, some giant idiot. Yeah, dude, always pay attention, pay with PayPal when buying on eBay. That is very good advice. Don't ever use other payment methods. PayPal will have your back if you ever need to get a refund for something. So good advice if you're buying on eBay, especially like computer parts and things where you're gonna have to test them when you receive them. PayPal will generally have the purchaser's back, the buyer's back. Let's see here. Used to play Fighter Ace a long ago. Yeah, I used to actually play that one too. That was a fun one. When Microsoft had a chat game section called Gaming Zone. Wow, that is a term. That term I've not heard in many years. Long time. It's a Star Wars quote from Obi-Wan Kenobi in A New Hope. I always flew for Yak for CCCP. Yep. I think they were always the best, weren't they? I feel like they were. I don't know how that's going to actually look on the other side yet. We might have to readjust that, but you get the idea where we're going here with this. Looking clean. Then the rest of these cables we're just going to bundle up to enjoy later. The basement is always a mess. There's nothing I can really do much better here. Jeez. So many cables. Just always a mess, I feel like. I could really spend some time here, but in the end, nobody's ever in the basement anyway. Except for me. The only thing I want to do is make sure airflow can get through it. These cables are not restricting a bunch of airflow or something. That's the important piece. More cables. These cables are going to be saved for later if you ever add more storage or a bigger graphics card or a bigger motherboard with more EPS requirements. That's what all these additional extra cables are for. Don't need them right now, but we might need them in the future. So we're going to bundle them up with a save for later option and tuck them away here. I'll try to get one more tie here. There we go. What do you guys think of that? About as clean as it's gonna get. What's that? One more zip tie? Okay. Pretty sure I heard somebody say that. Just one more zip tie. Nah, we're done. What do you guys think? We also have some additional blue cables for future upgrades as well. Match the system, which will be included with the PC. So clean, you can eat off of it. Thanks, Tat. I hope you don't eat off the back of your computer, though. Really advise not to. I always flew. Yep. Yep, looks neat. Thank you. Thank you. Looks great. Thank you, Adam. So what we'll do here is we'll get the back panel on. We'll probably put the front glass on. And then we'll flip it around and fire this thing up. Uh-oh. I'll have to play around with that a little bit. Looks pretty good. Nice. We'll get a side view here before I power it up. Nice. Power supply said, let's flash that light. All right. Here we go. Who's ready to see this thing powered up? Is Holden here to tell me to push that power button or what? Joe Dirt ate off of a space dirt. He did. French fries and ketchup, if I remember correctly. Let me know if Holden's here to tell me to push that button. I need Holden to say, push that button. Let's do it. Some giant idiots ready over there on Twitch. Let's go! All right, Adam. I'm going to go ahead and fire it up. Nice. Unfortunately, we're going to get the Gigabyte Orange on a B550. Gigabyte on the B550's default to orange. So that is, but that will be addressable, meaning in the software, once we get Windows loaded and get the software installed, we'll be able to customize all this, all the lighting to whatever color you want. And there we go, we got a post. New CPU installed. Yes. It's clean. So we'll be able to adjust all these lights, so don't worry about that. That's all customizable. Blinding orange. Yeah, it's the Gigabyte Orange. But it's beautiful. It's sharp. Waiting for Windows to get installed now. So there we have it. We have a PC for Holden built. But now we have to do the Windows side of things. The BIOS update, the drivers, any little updates that we have to do, all that fun stuff, and then get the software set up so that he can customize his RGB lights to whatever color he wants instead of just the orange. And then to go through the battle testing phase to make sure it runs the way we're expecting it to run. So we need that performance. Looks awesome. Thank you. It does look awesome. Super excited to finish this one, so probably in the next day or so we should have this ready for the pickup. I hope you enjoy it, bro. Yes, tell Holden we all hope he's going to enjoy it. Another one built for another battle station. Ready to fight its fight. In style. So, alright. I'm going to take a 5-minute or so break so I can give my hernia a break, which is extremely painful right now. Go to the bathroom, refill my drink, and then we'll be back in about 5 minutes or so, and we'll start build number 2, because I promised everybody on Discord, which there's only like 2 of you here from Discord, I think. Now go get some sleep. Yeah, go get some sleep, Holden. Be ready for school tomorrow. And then you'll have a new PC in a couple days. But then we'll get back to build number 2 after about 5-minute break. Sound good, everybody? Yeah! Alright, I'll be right back in about 5 minutes or so. Oh, you're welcome, Holden. You're welcome. Oh, I'm fine. I'm fine, Tat. Don't worry about it. We're gonna do build number 2. We're back. Build number 2. All right, guys, so this is an inventory build. This inventory builds, I generally build for the budget because that's what sells. I don't build anything super high-end usually for inventory because they sit forever. High-end builds do. And if I'm doing a high-end build, usually we're doing something custom for somebody. So, we're going to do a Ryzen 5 build. Aim for Ryzen 5 with a 5700 XT. One terabyte SSD, 16 gigs of RAM, B450M, Assassin X120, and some additional fans that we have here. A 3-pack Thermalright fans, 650 watt power supply, and a 5700 XT by XFX. What do you guys think? Be a nice little build? Let's do it. But I got several of these to build. Several of them. All parts just sitting here, waiting to go. We'll see how quick we can build this one. We're at 2 hours, 2 minutes, so we started about 2 minutes ago, we'll say. So we'll see where we go. See how long it takes us. There's that. CPU installed. Next, we'll get the RAM. Silicon Power 3200. You know the drill. Half the time you spent just trying to open the packages. We're going to put that in A2B2 just like the other one. And then we've got a 1 terabyte M.2 NVMe SSD by Silicon Power going in. This is Gen 3 with a B450 board. Oh. No M.2 for this. I thought there was. Okay. What's in the box? It's some here. Da, 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 da. Next up is the Assassin X120 refined FC Tower Air Cooler by Thermalright. Again, it's got the 4 heat pipes, the 120mm PWM addressable RGB fan, all the stuff we need to cool this AM4 Ryzen 5 CPU. Terminology is screwing with my head now. That's a huge GPU. It is. It's a 5700 XT. A little bit older, but it's about as equivalent as what was it, the 30, equivalent to like a 3060 or close to it. Or no, the 6600. It's basically a 6600. A little bit less. Sorry. 3600 is better. This guy. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. All right, here we go. We're ready to get the case out. Let's get that out. Whoops. Coolest entry. Love it. So this is basically a micro ATX version of the case that we just saw, which was the Montech XR. But this is not by Montech. This is by 7Hero. It's a super good micro ATX case, similar to the Montech XR. Same design, just smaller, micro ATX version. My micro boards are starting to grow on me. Yeah, they can. Yeah, I mean, they're nice for what they're, what you use them for. Depends on the spec. Like, for example, I want a nice small budget build. I'm actually considering, hoping, yes, it does fit. I was actually just thinking the graphics card might not fit in here. What's the specs on this build? This is a Ryzen 5 4500 on a B450 with 1 terabyte M.2 Gen 3 SSD and 16 gigs of DDR4 3200 with an Assassin X120 SE Thermalright Tower air cooler, 4 heat pipes, 1 fan. This is a 7Hero micro ATX case. And the graphics card is a RX 5700 XT, which is basically like a 6600 XT. And the power supply is, again, the Sagitap 650 watt, 80 plus gold. 7 Hero, that is correct. You can look it up on Amazon. It is available on Amazon. It's like 69 bucks for this case. Yeah, it's pretty much a ripoff of the Thermaltake 170. Correct. But it's by 7 Hero. It's probably the same manufacturer that makes Thermaltake's cases, too. It's just got a different name on it, and it's cheaper. So, take that as you will. So it's like the same exact case, pretty much. Everybody's going with this design now. This is the new modern design of your standard typical ATX case. The side intake. It's the thing. And that was brought to you in part by Leon Lee, who started the run. With their 011 Dynamic. They are the ones who started this. Yeah. This board's slightly a little bit more extended, so I might run the power supply cable here first. So I'm actually going to install the power supply really quick. That's one thing that I don't like about that case, this case. So you have a slightly extended micro ATX board. It covers the slots. I don't like that, but we can work around it. Just got to plan ahead, that's all. So I'm going to put the power supply in first. Normal people probably install the power supply first anyway. I'm not normal. The reason why I did that is so I can, I'll show you here once I get it flipped over. So I can make a bigger mess for myself. Yeah, no. Actually, so I could run this cable. Gosh. Can I just have one moment to myself, guys? Thank you. There we go. I can run that through there and then lay the board down. Didn't need the EPS, but I'm just doing that anyway. So then I could run my cable there. There we are. Time to mount it. What's your favorite brand of motherboards? I'd say right now, honestly, Gigabyte is my top brand that I use. In my personal rig, I have ASRock, which used to be one of my favorites, but because of their slow reaction to their software, keeping up on their software, I don't like to use them as much now. And it's only because when I'm building PCs, I want to be able to make sure I give everybody a nice, easy platform to work with. And Asus is probably the easiest. MSI probably the second, and Gigabyte, well actually Gigabyte's probably the second now. Second easiest. MSI is probably the third. And then things like ASRock and other brands come. Alright, Gigabyte. Their boards have been super stable through the DDR5 crisis. Asus, I've had problems. MSI, I've had problems. MSI software is clunky. It works, but it's clunky. A lot of unnecessary BS in it. They try to force you to install Norton every 5 minutes from MSI, and I hate that, and there's no way to really shut that off. But I like MSI still. It's not that I don't like it. I like the board, I like the look, I like the hardware side of it. The software side I don't like. And Asus, I love their software. I love how easy the software is in their BIOS. But lately, their hardware's been kind of flaky. So, Gigabyte. What's the specs on that build? Or no high powers? This is a 650 watt power supply. That's all you really need to run a 5700 XT, honestly. Do 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 do. But yeah, I noticed it. Even the first slot is the same. I know it's like it's the same case. So I think on the Thermaltake you wouldn't have this problem that I just had. So maybe that's something that's a little bit different. But I mean, for the most part, it's the same case. But yeah, it's pretty easy to build in outside of that little thing that I had to show you. There we go. Now we just got some RGB fans to plug in. I do have some extra fans here. I was going to put two in the top, one in the bottom. Kind of similar to what I just did. Oh, it's so weird having the power supply in first. Like, ah! What am I doing? I feel so backwards. Oh, we know this guy goes somewhere over here. This guy, pretty sure goes on the bottom. Yep. Definitely goes on the bottom. HD audio. And these are all RGB, or everything but this one. These are our front panel connectors that we're dealing with right now. Power switch, reset switch, power LEDs and all that. I meant the brand High Power is a joke. Oh yeah, High Power is a joke, yep. Yep. It is a joke, dude. I got a couple of them sitting over here right now because I pulled them out of Cyber Powers or iBuy Powers. One of the two. They might both use them. I don't know. Okay, we got all those connectors in, but we want to get our addressable RGB header plugged in. And then I just remembered these. This board only has one fan header, which sucks. So I'm gonna have to extend that down. I think I have an extension over here somewhere. Sitting here, saying, "Use me, Daddy, use me." There it is. An extension. Then we'll get a bottom fan installed here, and then we'll do the two top fans. It'll look pretty good. The only thing it's really missing is a nice cable. So I'm thinking, shove this one back here. I don't know why I do this to myself. Where's Mr. Stubby? Mr. Stubby. Mr. Stubby is actually not enough for the Micro ATX case. Mr. Stubby's too big for the Micro ATX case. We're getting acrobatic with our hands here. Ooh. We got it, we got it, we got it. All right, so 2 fans on the top. The 7900 XT gets close to 550 Black Friday. I know! Wonder what the GRE is going to be at around Black Friday. Well, that's a pretty badass card as well. Nice. All right. Get these fans plugged in before we put the card in, just in case we have to do anything stupid. Anything extra stupid. Those. We're gonna need both of the PCIEs for the card. Right. Right. Ow. That hurt. Alright, so when you gotta figure this out. We're getting there, guys. We're getting closer. I hope it's a good enough upgrade. It will be worth it for a couple of years. Oh, yeah. That card is gonna run for a while. Might be the last high-end card that AMD builds, too. For a while. There we go. Cleaned up nice. All we gotta do is drop a card in here. We're good to go. Card and some power for the card. I guess one thing I didn't really take into account is how big this card is and how low this fan is. It won't fit. I gotta take this fan out. Son of a bee! This card's thick. So, note to self. No fans on the bottom of this one with this card. Good to know. Hey Geach, yo, popping back in. What's up? Welcome back. Build show, sir. Where Ben thinks he knows what he's doing. She's a big one. She is. Lovely cable management. Thank you. Thank you. Try. Sometimes. What is most frustrating is that I got to find why I do stupid things like this. Why you do stupid? Go. Oh. Almost just take that fan and put it in the build that we just built. Alright, now the card will go in. You make sure that's tied down. Jeez, what a debacle. I think the problem is the card is just too big for the case. But that's what we like. We like big cards, big performance. Now, if you put a bigger card in a smaller case, does it make the card look bigger? What are some good media consumption headphones? Yeah, they're good. Yeah, Accenture and Heiser. I think that's what you were trying to say. Cool, I'll look it up. Those aren't bad. Cool. It's a beast of a card for this case. It almost makes me laugh. A little bit. Sneezer. I don't even know how to pronounce that. But those are pretty good. Personally, haven't used, but heard good things. We need some sort of DP bracket there. Small one. I just want to make sure it doesn't sag too much. Slot doesn't have a lot of support on that board. It has a little bit, not a lot. But other than that, not being able to use the bottom fan, it's a solid build. Definitely makes me feel special. Hey. "49 minutes so far, and that was with a little hiccup. Not bad. All right, who's ready to see this one fired up? Got that done. Yeah, I got that build done fast. Yeah, I was dedicated to getting it completed quickly. Hey, FT, yes, like a decade ago. I just never ended up using them. I just heard names, but, you know, I've heard of them before. I don't know if they're actually used. I'm not a headphone type of guy. Oh, you're talking about the Dre headphones. Gotcha. The Beats. Yeah, a decade ago. Those I haven't heard of in a long time. It's been a long time since I heard them. But that used to be like a big thing, like, oh, did you get the bill? You loved them? Yeah. That used to be a big thing. Buddy had them. Had to listen to it. Half the PC built, just zip ties in the back. Yeah, I know. Cable management for the win. Here we go, guys. Let's fire this thing up. We're going to have Gigabyte Orange for our RGB, though, because it's a Gigabyte board. I guess we have some blue there. Not sure why. Interesting. Something I'll have to look into. Should have been Gigabyte Orange. Yeah, Dre sold the headphones to Apple, I know. and then they turned into whatever you call them now. Captain Ameriglow. There you go. There you go. We got a solid post here, so we're looking good. Looking good. Waiting on Windows. So we just got to install Windows on this one and do all that stuff. And this one will be good to go. So it's another one. Build 168 done. This is just an inventory build. So we have something when somebody's looking for something fast. You got to have those. I got a lot of customers that just come in here and expecting to buy a PC today. They'll go home with it today. Same day. So, fans are spies. I know. Night. Yes. Definitely bedtime. I'm feeling it. You can probably hear it in my voice. This hernia is killing me. Standing with a hernia in the groin sucks. I'll have to figure something out until it gets fixed. Also, like I said, go see a specialist tomorrow, actually. Oh, check out dude named Critical. He's super specific about his audio. Yeah, definitely. I've actually I'll go check him out because I'm usually particular about my audio as well. I've got a mixture of Logitech speakers, headsets, and things. I've always been a fan of Logitech and their sound. So that's what I run. Microphones, I have a mixture, but mostly running the HyperX Quadcasts right now. Only because I can simply adjust things to adjust the sound. There's a lot of functions on the mic that I can use to adjust by hand versus having to go into the computer and adjust, or in the stream and adjust, or wherever it's being managed. Just makes it easier when you're streaming, for me anyway, because I'm working with my hands. I'm not streaming a game, which, by the way, we are going to start doing community games sometime here in the near future. I just got to get the schedule sorted out, and it'll probably start happening once or twice in November, seeing as how we're already halfway through. But we'll also maybe get one in December, but there's going to be a lot of builds in December. So expect a lot of build streams in December. With that being said, this is it, guys. I've got more inventory builds, so we could do another stream maybe later this week. And then I've got a couple of more orders coming in as well. So parts are on the way for them. After the stream, of course, yes. Get some rest, Ben. Thank you. I will, Tat. I will try to. I'm probably going to get drug into PUBG for a couple of games or something. I see Geesh is stalking me. But have a good night, guys. Thanks for joining. We'll see you on the next one. Probably late in the week, like a Thursday, Friday stream. We'll see you guys. Thanks again.